degrees, I guess, today, but that's the warmest it's been probably in the last week. So I think it's safe to get the garlic in the ground and get it covered up and put away for the winter. So yeah, and I've got lots of other work to do around the homestead. I've got peas, like lots of seeds. There's calendula and peas and beans. I'm not sure even what else I got to look. But I've got to harvest all the seeds off of everything and just kind of clean up a little bit around the garden. Not that I don't really clean up. I kind of like to leave everything dry for the winter. I think the soil prefers it that way. But yeah, pretty stoked we've got some awesome seed garlic of our own, and then I bought a little bit of seed from a farmer friend that used to be our neighbor when we lived at our old place. And yeah, so I think we'll have a pretty epic garlic season coming up this year. Pretty stoked for it. Calendula. Lots of seed left. And you might be wondering why this tarp is still laying here a month after I harvested potatoes. And it's simply because I got distracted. Never cleaned it up. Because that's what happens. I get going on another task and I forget. Or actually, I don't even forget about it. I just ignore it and do other things. And then I'll come back to that one day. But for now, it's weed suppression. Abracadabra. I went to the shed to get a shovel, and then I remembered I had the coffee on, so I got coffee and no shovel. So I think I'll go get a shovel now. I need my bigs. So I'm going to try and harvest enough finished or fairly finished compost out of the pile this stuff mostly looks pretty well finished, so I think it'll do pretty good. If you can see that or not. There's a little bit of solid still in it. It's mostly just straw and mulch though, so I think it'll be okay. Okay, well, I think that should do it. I'm hoping I can fit 100 cloves in here. So I put like 2 or 3 inches of new compost on top, And then I'd already raked like a couple inches of leaves, fresh leaves underneath there, so I think that should be a pretty good start to next year's soil. My intent is to cover everything with leaves as time goes on, but I'll start with the garlic bed so I can get them put to bed and then move. Okay, so here's the garlic that I bought. And this is our garlic from the garden this year, so my intent is to use as much of our own garlic as possible because I want to get the garlic used to our climate here. And our climate is very much unique. It's quite cold and, oh, those are some nice cloves. Well, I must say I'm feeling fairly proud of our little garlic crop when I look at these that were grown by our farmer friends, because a lot of ours are actually fairly close to the same size. And our soil, this is, you know, I mean, they've been working on their soil for years. This is only our second year growing in here, and yeah, I mean, you wouldn't hardly be able to tell the difference. So look at them. This is a variety called, I wonder if it'll focus, called Susan Delafield. I probably have to put it in front of my face. Yeah, and that's like a handful, that clove.
Oh, slow living can be life-giving, although we might disagree. If most our lives are lived in black and white, it makes the gray so hard to see. The same old people, the same old steeples on every corner for half a mile, but nothing changes. And ain't it strange that we didn't notice as a child that slow living can be life-giving, although we might disagree. If most our lives are lived in black and white, it makes the gray so hard to see. Living in a dry state where we all say grace, buying liquor on a Sunday across the county lines, where the raindrops rolling off the rooftops, making the clouds stop for just a little while. Oh, slow living can be life-giving, although we might disagree. If most our lives are lived in black and white, it makes the gray so hard to see. Sitting on the porch steps in the town where we met, after the sun on a Friday night. Southern firefly lighting up the night sky. Lucky to realize one more time that slow living can be life-giving. Although we might disagree, if most our lives are lived in black and white, it makes the gray so hard to see. It makes the gray so hard to see.
Well, that about does it. I actually didn't count, but I'd say we're closer to 200 seeds than we are to 100. I started thinking at 100 and I had way more space than what I thought, and so yeah, she's done, put to bed, and ready for next year. So pretty awesome. I'm trying to empty my rainwater collection. I've got a 1,000-liter rainwater tote on the side of the shed there. So I'm watering in all the fruit trees and stuff, and then trying to put it to bed nice. So putting a nice big thick layer of mulch on the ground, watering all the roots in real deep, and yeah, gonna put like a nice 6-inch layer of fresh mulch on there, so the food forest will just be ripping for next year. It's gonna be in good shape. Should come back swinging. The Haskaps, I really wanted them to come this year, and they barely survived. I trimmed them back to the ground almost, and they started to come back, but give them a good watering this year and a good mulching, and hopefully next spring they come back strong and give us lots of fruit. So yeah, and everything else. We planted sour cherries and apples and freaking you name it, raspberries and goji berries, and it's kind of a mixed bag, a little food forest. So it has the potential to pump out some pretty serious fruit if it stays healthy. So Well, that is the food forest cleaned up and mulched and ready for winter. Got a nice thick layer of mulch on there. Everyone's watered in real good. I still need to put my windows away. That's on the tomorrow list. Our future greenhouse. Well, it's time to clean up the garden a little bit today. I don't typically get too crazy about, like, I'm gonna leave my sunflowers and all that stuff standing. The birds can eat on that all winter. And kind of trying to do no-till. I guess it is no-till. So I just cut all the plants off, leave the root systems in the ground, and then I'll compost it in the spring. I'm going to cover everything up with straw for the winter, just to kind of preserve the soil and keep the biome in there, and collect some seeds, because there's still like the red oric and lots of calendula. I don't think my carrot seeds quite got to the point where they're actually salvageable. They didn't quite like form seed heads, so I don't know, I might keep a few, but I just don't think they quite made it. Yeah, still tons of dill seed to collect, borage, lots of borage seed. I just lay blankets underneath the borage and the seeds just drop, so I'm gonna have to give all the seed away, because the borage is gonna self-seed. There's a million seeds in the ground already, so I'm probably gonna have to be like selling borage plants in the spring or giving them away to everyone, because they're gonna self-seed like crazy. So, but it's a good problem to have. Hopefully they bloom early, because the pollinators just love them. So yeah, cleanup day. thought I'd bring the calendula inside to try and harvest the seed because there is just so much of it. I might end up doing this with most of these plants. But for whatever reason, it just feels important to harvest as many of these seeds as I can. And just trying to find homes for everything. Some of the seeds when I harvested them are not fully dry, and so I'm just trying to find places to dry everything. So I've got some of the plants still hanging, and I've got some stuff just sitting in cardboard I'm going to add into these boxes. Got 1,000 borage seeds drying up here on a cloth. Got containers of dry calendula, hollyhock, mullein, whatever the heck these things are called, I can't remember again. Yeah, seeds galore. I need more seed drying space. I'm gonna have to build some seed trays, drying trays or something for next season, because yeah, I just don't have enough space right now. But all the seeds. Real smooth. Well, I have one last little potato patch to harvest, and it is like an embarrassing disaster. I weeded it a couple times in the summer, but I planted these potatoes in like just the worst soil. It's like the sandiest, grassiest. This is where the thickest, kind of swampiest grass was. And I just kind of roughly tilled it and then threw a bunch of potato seeds in there. So yeah, we'll see, but it's time to get them out of the ground anyways. It's been freezing, so. going. I've been bad. What a mess. out to collect some firewood for the winter. Looking for some standing dead, like pine and spruce and stuff like that, conifers. But it's also, I came out to the area actually where I found that trapper's cabin a couple weeks ago. And so it's hunting season out here as well. So it's kind of a little bit of both. I brought my rifle as well and chainsaw and stuff. So we'll see what we can see. My primary goal is to cut firewood for today. But yeah, if I happen to come across an animal on my travels and it seems viable, then I might just grab some meat for the freezer as well. Look at that sunrise. Holy. It's hard to even explain how much gratitude I have for this land to, you know, not only do we get to see things like that, but then it provides us heat for the winter, you know, and food a lot of the times, the animals, and all around me is Labrador tea and bogberries, so like all edible stuff, and yeah, it's just so amazing. It's really true. I'm just so grateful for this planet and for this land. I just love it. Love it, and I love being out here. It's just the best. 2 more biggies back there yet at the base of that big tree that I gotta try and get out of here. They're gonna be a real challenge. I might end up having to cut them into logs, but I'd like to bring them whole and just cut them up at home if I can. Kind of transport's so much easier that way. Okay, got them all in the trailer. It's like 9:30 in the morning. I've already got like half a trailer load. So that's pretty sweet. And I'm about 2 kilometers down the road into this crown land. So yeah, I don't know. I might just do a little loop around now and maybe knock down 1 or 2 more standing dead for today. I can only haul so much weight with little Astro, so I don't want to overwork her too hard. I'd rather just take a bit and come back another day and grab another load. It's always a nice excuse to get out here and get some fresh air, get some exercise. Well, I am officially back on the highway. So, got a nice load of firewood back there. Just gotta take it home and lop it up and chop it up and stack it up and tarp it up and first pile chopped up and ready to be stacked. Okay, well, I got all of the wood that I brought in from the forest yesterday, cut into lengths, and I split a little bit of it, so I got some sawdust in my eye, and some safety glasses. So, yeah, my piling is a little bit rudimentary, but I wanted to keep logs because I love to split wood. So this is all standing dead dry stuff anyway, so it'll all split real nice. And then I split a bit, so I have probably enough split. We've got the pine and spruce on the right, and then that's birch in the back there. So yeah, good start to the winter season for sure. And yeah, probably 1 or 2 more trips this winter and we'll be good. But yeah, love going out there, love going out into the West Country in the winter to cut firewood anyway, so I really don't need much of an excuse to get out there, you know.